let's take you to the National Institute of Sports, the NIS. What's happening? We don't get to hear much about them, talking about the NIS, but this morning we've got a story concerning the National Institute for Sports, where the Director General of the National Institute for Sport, the NIS, Comrade Philip Schreiber, has pledged sweeping reforms at the institute, citing personal experiences that expose deep-rooted flaws in Nigeria's sports development system. In an interview, the former Edo State Deputy Governor Philip Schreiber revealed that he had encountered two negative experiences with the National Institute for Sport NIS, one of which involved the disqualification of Edo Queens coach from sitting on the bench during the CAF Women's Champions League back in Morocco not too long ago. Now, he said he was one of those Nigerians who felt nothing was happening at the NIS, and he said one of the negative experiences was when Edo Queens qualified for the CAF Champions League in 2024, and he saw their coach, Moses Aduku, sit in the stands, and when he asked why, he was told that the coach wasn't allowed to sit on the bench because his NIS certificate wasn't recognized. According to CAF regulations, coaches must meet specific licensing requirements to sit on the bench during interclub competitions such as the CAF Champions League or Confederations Cup. Head coaches are required to hold a CAF A license or a valid pro license from a sister confederation like the UEFA, the AFC, while assistant coaches must possess at least a CAF B license. Well, that's another thing, Jude. We don't hear much about the NIS. Yes, we have it right there in Lagos, the National Institute for Sports, very close to the stadium. And of course, we talk about coaches who don't have the required certifications. And Philip Schreiber, former Deputy Governor of Edo State, is now the Director General of that institute. And he says, hey, himself had first experience of some coaches who don't have recognized certificates.
Well, I think it's instructive to know that they have a primary function, which is to advance sports development, through education, research, and training and all of that. Their work is to produce, qualified coaches, sports administrators, and personnel, also conduct research to support athletes and improve sports performance. So if he, as former Deputy Governor, saw something that was untoward, something that was not good enough, I'm sure he now has the opportunity to, as the man at the helm now, to change all of that. The point is, why did we have a Moses Aduku without the requisite certificate, leading a team? What stopped him from acquiring the necessary certificate when there is an NIS, for instance? So are we having those courses in place? They must conduct those professional coaching courses at various levels, for different sports, and ensure that those who are picking up that profession or that route, get the necessary documents or certification to give them, a chance to lead teams in the country. They must also run courses for sports policy makers and administrators as well to enhance their knowledge and skills. They also are supposed to offer specialized training in areas like sports management. Have we been seeing these in all of these years? I'm not sure until Schreiber was appointed. I didn't even know who was even leading that organization, for instance, right? I always only knew that people go there for courses. I know that sometimes their certificates are not even enough to even give them the required job that they want. So I think for me it's a clarion call that we must now tell ourselves the truth, that there's a lot that has to be done. We must rejig that setup. We must throw in some energy into the NIS so that people can start to believe that they can actually go there and take up courses and get the required certificates to lead. There are a lot of young boys who want to get it. Not everybody will play football, and there's some players who have picked up injuries that have ended their career so early. They want to get into coaching. They want to get into administration. Can the NIS afford them that? These are some of the questions we must, and then there must be regular training as well for these people, and not just for that. Even administrators, those who even run club sites, that need some kind of enlightened education. That's the point. So you can go there and run a course for say 6 months, for instance.
Some even 3 months.
Even 3 months.
Basic courses.
And become certified. So that's what we say. So the DG, talking about Schreiber, must of course fold the sleeves and ensure that work is done adequately at the National Institute for Sports.